What's going on, lads and lasses? Welcome back to 100% Mags. So here we go. This is your match preview for the game against Wolves on Saturday, an old-fashioned 3 p.m. kickoff. It's not going to be broadcast here in the UK, but will be on foreign streams, and it's just what we need. Of course, we need the football back after that international break. It's now over. And we are in desperate need of picking up our first win of the season as well, after draws against Aston Villa and Leeds and that frustrating home defeat to Liverpool. We are still chasing that first Premier League win of the season. It's now 5 league games without a victory, something that we've only seen twice under Eddie Howe, once in October of 2024 and once in March of 2023. However, it is worth remembering that the March of 23 drought ended with, of course, you guessed it, a 2-1 home win over Wolves. Really nice omen for us heading into this game at the weekend against Wolves at St James's Park. The lads are also wanting to avoid a third straight home loss as well, something that we haven't seen happen in Howe's era. In the last time we did see it happen, of course, it was under Bacon Tits in early 2021 when we lost to Leicester, Leeds and Palace, all stealing wins, and no one wants to relive those days. We really don't. Looking at, of course, the team news on our side going into the game, Anthony Gordon, of course, serves the second of his 3-game domestic ban after that incident against, of course, Van Dijk in the Liverpool game at St James's. He'll be back for the Champions League game, however, of course, on the following Thursday, exactly a week from today, when we'll be taking on Barcelona in our first of our Champions League games at, of course, St James's Park. So Anthony Gordon will be available for that one. And then after that, he'll be completing, of course, his suspension at Bournemouth. On the midfield side of things, Jacob Ramsey and Joel Linton are both early doubts heading into the game. So the midfield options could be stretched a little bit there. And that might, see Eddie make a little bit of a switch to the way the team lines up, the way the team is shaped as well. But expect Eddie to keep his cards very close to his chest until the last possible moment on the lineup. And on the Wolves side of things, they're rock bottom at the minute of the league after 3 defeats, a 4-0 loss to City, a 1-0 loss to Bournemouth, and a 3-2 loss to Everton at the Molineux. Of course, and their Norwegian forward, Strand Larsen, who was linked with us during the window, of course, and ended up not coming. He skipped international break with an Achilles problem and is a doubt heading into the game, so that's great news for us, not for, of course, Wolves fans, but for us Newcastle fans, that's great news because he's a really good lethal finisher for them. And without him being there, that means they're left with their new signing, Tulu, who they signed from Genk, and has opened his scoring in a 1-0 win over Rwanda for Nigeria during the international break, so he will be buzzing for his chance to start at the weekend for Wolves. The officials going into the game, of course, are Craig Kavanagh. This is the first Newcastle appointment for Kavanagh this season. The last time we saw him officiate over a Newcastle United game was April's 4-1 domination over Man United at St James's Park. And of course, on VAR is a rookie new to the Premier League, Timothy Wood. And looking at the recent results in the past games that have been played at St James's with Wolves, we have a really good record there with 4 straight home wins. So really good omen heading into the game. Of course, the most recent one being a 3-0 win against them in the 24-25 season. And the season before that was also a 3-0 win in the 23-24 season, of course. But what can we expect going into it? Well, Wolves will arrive desperate to get off the mark. So expect them to sit deep, try and spoil the party, try and pinch something on the break, but their defence has been leaking a lot of goals, as I've just mentioned there. 4-0 against Man City, a 1-0 against Bournemouth, a 3-2 loss to Everton. They're leaking goals, so that is something that we can, apply pressure to, and hopefully that will help us immensely in the game. And for us, it's all about the energy, the patience. The crowds, of course, will obviously be up for this one, especially with that Champions League game just around the corner against Barcelona. This is a chance, for us to get ourselves some good confidence going into that game. So expect, we're to be really up for this game. A lot of atmosphere, getting behind the lads, and, trying to get that first win of the season. Keeping it tight at the back, obviously, is a must. Moving the ball quickly, again, a must forward. And the chances will come. Wolves are fragile, and St James's, and a Saturday afternoon sun is perfect place to finally, choke up, hopefully, our first win of the season. 3 points here would steady the ship nicely before that huge Champions League game, as I mentioned. So bottom line, it's going into the game, putting in a really good performance, and putting Wolves to bed early, and as I've said, there's some good omens around it. We've got 4 straight home wins against them in the past 4 games we've played against them at St James's Park. And of course, not to mention that March of 2023 omen where we ended a drought of games against them with a 2-1 home win over them as well. So a lot of really good omens to take on going into this game. And I'm going to go with a score prediction of Newcastle to come away 2-1 winners against Wolves. I think that would be a really good score. Just at the end of the day, I'd take a 1-0, to be honest, as well. It's just about going into the game, getting the points, getting that first win on the board, because that is, really vital at this point. We need to start getting them points on the board if we want to be playing European football come next season as well. So let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, remember, hit like, share, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for the major support that's been shown at the channel over the past few months as well, as we are pushing towards that 3K milestone now, which is absolutely amazing, and it would never have been possible without the support from you lads and lasses. So please do continue to show that support of the channel. It's massively appreciated and never taken for granted, and I'll see you all in the next one. Away the lads.